Well, I was going to turn it around a little bit so I could speak to you, but I guess I can do it like this. Well, first of all, I think I got what? Okay. First of all, I got to thank the residents of the 31st District for sending me here. What an honor it's been to represent that district along with you in this body. You know, there's only 38 people in this whole state of Michigan to get to serve here at a time. And you add them all up over the years, and it's not very many. So it's got to be a special honor for all of us to be able to serve here in the capacity that our district has sent us. I've served in the Capitol for almost 14 years and under five leaders during that time. I want to thank Arlen Meekoff, who I feel has been the greatest among them. Thank you, Arlen, for leading us through some very challenging times. Thank you for being a great friend. And also, I want to give a special thank you to your staff, who have been the greatest to work with. You, colleagues, have all been a positive part of the last 8 years. Senator Kowal especially, good friend, been together a long time. We go back all the way back to the Engler administration, and I think Senator and I are the only ones left that served in the Engler administration. And he's been a good friend and a good colleague. That was a great trip, right, Mike? And I think he said we both have scars left over from that. It was a good time. I also want to say a special thanks to Senator Hildebrand for leading the Appropriations Committee for these last 4 years that I was on, and it was an honor serving with him there. Senator, you've been very fair to me as I tried to improve the Ag Department and the DNR Department from the previous 8 years that had received some very, very heavy cuts. And I appreciate the job you did. Thank you also, Senator Hopgood, for being my vice chair in all 3 budgets. I got to know you a little bit better, but you were certainly very, very kind, and I hope you felt I was the same way. And we put together some pretty good budgets, and I appreciate all the hard work that you did. Probably the people that deserve the most credit for my accomplishments here has been my staff. My first term was a terribly busy time and a lot of work. John Lizette, some of you may remember, was my first chief of staff. Emily Carney, Travis Howell, and Jim McCloskey were with me in that first term. We worked very, very hard together as a team. Then second term, it was Emily and Nick Bougie, Travis, and Jim McCloskey again that started. And then the last year and a half, Cheryl Corey and Kim Jamison have been my whole staff office and have done a remarkable job. And I appreciate all the hard work that they did for me in the short year and a half that they were there. But I'd be a little remiss if I didn't give a special shout out to Emily for her really hard work keeping track of me, keeping my ideas and our agenda together, and making sure that the work that we wanted to get done did get done. She gave our office a direction and a leading that I could have not accomplished without her. I will not forget you, Emily, wherever you are, Bermuda, Florida, I'm not sure right now, but you'll see this tape someday. And wherever you are out there, Em, thank you so much for the job that you did for me. I'd also be remiss if I didn't say a thank you to Leader Jim Ananick. Special thanks, Jim, for being a good friend. He's my neighbor in my Senate seat, and even though we haven't done a whole lot together, I've certainly enjoyed serving with you, and I respect the job that you've done on that side, and I'll miss you. And I also want to give out a special thank you to Sergeant Mike Furland and his staff. These guys do a remarkable job. I mean, we don't even know it. Emily used to tell me, Mike, don't forget, those guys got your back. And they have. Thanks, Mike, for your friendly staff. It's been a pleasure working with them. And then another thank you to all my colleagues who supported my desire to correct this concealed weapons process. It's been a ways back. Some of you have tried to forget it maybe. But I started in the House in the 90s, and then we were able to finally finish the bill while I was here in the Senate. Thank you to those that supported that legislation. Thank you to those that didn't, but I know most of you would have if you could have, because you believed in the right to protect ourselves. Honest, law-abiding citizens now have the ability to protect themselves if they feel they need to. Thank you, colleagues. You all know my heart's been with ag, hunting, and fishing, and one of the things that I feel has been a major part to help the state is when we reestablished the Legislative Sportsman's Caucus. The President DNR director told me once that it has brought together every other month legislators, hunting group leaders, and DNR staff in a casual group to discuss hunting issues that needed to be talked about in the state. One of the best things was because they have a very opportunity to, in an open forum, to be able to sit down and chat about the issues that we need, and that had never really ever been happened before until this got restarted. I want to thank Senator Knizek, who worked with me and served with me as co-chairs of that Sportsman's Caucus, and I want to thank Senator McGregor, who's agreed to take it over. He has the last couple of years and continue this great success. Will challenge you to keep it going and just make sure that our hunting issues are at the forefront here in the legislature. Okay, so now it's time to quit. I probably missed a whole lot of things I wished I would have said, but I could go on and on. You've probably heard enough from me, and you will forever be my friends.